What if I told you that one of the greatest football stories in history has finally reached its most emotional chapter? Cristiano Ronaldo, a player who spent more than 2 decades breaking records, winning trophies, and inspiring millions across the globe. But every legendary journey eventually reaches a moment no fan wants to witness. For Ronaldo, that moment arrived when Portugal suffered a heartbreaking 1-0 defeat to Spain in the 2026 FIFA World Cup round of 16. A dramatic 91-minute goal ended Portugal's campaign and what is widely expected to be Ronaldo's final World Cup appearance. The final whistle wasn't just the end of a match. It may have been the end of an era. Cristiano Ronaldo first appeared on the World Cup stage in 2006. Back then, he was a young superstar full of speed, confidence, and endless ambition. Over the next 20 years, he represented Portugal on football's biggest stage again and again, carrying the hopes of an entire nation. Every World Cup brought new expectations. Every tournament brought another opportunity to chase the one trophy missing from his incredible collection. He won the Champions League. He conquered England, Spain, Italy. He became Portugal's all-time leading scorer, the highest international goalscorer in men's football history. He won the UEFA European Championship. He lifted the UEFA Nations League. Yet one dream remained unfinished: the FIFA World Cup. As the 2026 tournament began, millions of fans believed this could be Ronaldo's final chance. Portugal entered the competition with one of its strongest squads in years. The team battled through the early rounds and reached the knockout stage, where they faced their fierce rivals, Spain. The match was exactly what fans expected: fast, physical, intense. Spain controlled much of the possession, while Portugal defended with determination and looked for opportunities on the counterattack. Ronaldo had his moments. He searched for space. He made dangerous runs. He fought until the very end. But Spain's defense refused to give him the opportunity he needed. Then came the heartbreaking moment. In the 91st minute, substitute Mikel Merino found the back of the net, giving Spain a dramatic late victory and eliminating Portugal from the World Cup. Silence filled the stadium. Portuguese players dropped to the ground. Fans watched in disbelief. For Cristiano Ronaldo, it was an emotional ending to a World Cup journey that had lasted 2 decades. Statistics tell part of the story. Ronaldo appeared in 6 World Cups and scored in multiple editions, becoming one of the tournament's most iconic players. Yet despite countless memorable performances, the World Cup trophy always remained just out of reach. But perhaps football isn't only about trophies. Sometimes, it's about inspiration. Think about everything Ronaldo achieved. A young boy from Madeira, growing up in difficult circumstances, working harder than almost anyone else, transforming himself into one of the greatest athletes football has ever seen. His career wasn't built on talent alone. It was built on discipline, sacrifice, relentless determination. For more than 20 years, he proved that age doesn't define greatness. Work ethic does. Even after Portugal's elimination, supporters inside the stadium stood and applauded him as he left the World Cup stage. It was a tribute not just to one match, but to an extraordinary international career. Today, debates will continue. Some will compare him with Messi, others will discuss records, goals, trophies. But one thing is impossible to deny: Cristiano Ronaldo changed football forever. He inspired an entire generation to dream bigger, to train harder, to believe that impossible goals could become reality. His World Cup dream may have ended, but his legacy never will, because legends aren't remembered only for the trophies they lift. They're remembered for the millions of lives they inspire. And no matter what happens next, Cristiano Ronaldo's name will forever remain one of the greatest in football history. The final whistle had already blown. Portugal's World Cup dream was over. But for millions of fans watching around the world, the most emotional moments were only just beginning. Cristiano Ronaldo stood silently on the pitch. His head was down, his eyes filled with emotion. For a few seconds, the stadium seemed to stand still. The man who had spent more than 20 years carrying Portugal's hopes was now walking away from the World Cup for what he later confirmed was the final time. One of the first people to show support wasn't even wearing a Portugal shirt. Several Spain players walked over to Ronaldo after the final whistle, offering hugs and words of encouragement. It was a powerful reminder that football's greatest rivalries often end with mutual respect. Reports also noted gestures of support from players such as Rodri. Inside the stadium, Portuguese supporters rose to their feet. Many applauded. Some were crying, others simply held up their phones, wanting to capture the final World Cup moments of a player who had inspired an entire generation. No matter which club they supported, everyone understood they were witnessing the end of an era. Then came another emotional message. Ronaldo's fiancée, Georgina Rodriguez, shared a heartfelt tribute on Instagram. She reposted a Nike image that read, "His legend lives on," with the heart emoji, a simple but powerful message after one of the toughest nights of Ronaldo's career. Back in the mixed zone, journalists surrounded Ronaldo. Many expected an immediate retirement announcement. Instead, Ronaldo remained calm. He confirmed that this had been his last FIFA World Cup, but said he would not rush any decision about retiring from Portugal altogether. "I gave everything I had," he explained. "My conscience is clear." Those few words perfectly captured his mindset. He wasn't making excuses. He wasn't blaming teammates. He accepted the result with dignity and said the team could leave the tournament with their heads held high. He also praised coach Roberto Martinez for his work with Portugal. Almost instantly, social media exploded. Players, former footballers, clubs, and millions of fans posted messages thanking Ronaldo for everything he had given to football. Whether people considered him the greatest player of all time or not, almost everyone agreed on one thing. Football would never be the same without Cristiano Ronaldo on the World Cup stage. Television cameras continued following him as he slowly walked toward the tunnel. There were no celebrations, no speeches, just a quiet walk, perhaps the most emotional walk of his entire career. For many fans, it felt like saying goodbye to a childhood hero. After all, Ronaldo had played in 6 World Cups, broken countless international records, and become the first men's player to score in 6 different World Cup tournaments. Of course, the debate will never end. Some people will always argue that a World Cup trophy defines greatness. Others believe Ronaldo's legacy was secured long before this tournament. Because football isn't only about medals. It's about moments. It's about inspiration. It's about the millions of children who started playing football because they wanted to celebrate, like Cristiano Ronaldo. The famous Siu, the impossible free kicks, the last-minute winners, the unforgettable Champions League nights. Those memories can never be erased by one defeat. As Ronaldo left the stadium, one chapter closed forever. But his story, his records, his influence, and his legacy will continue inspiring football fans for generations to come. The World Cup dream may have ended, but legends never truly leave the game. They live on in every young player who dares to dream as big as Cristiano Ronaldo once did. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more emotional football stories, legendary careers, and unforgettable moments from the beautiful game.